Where my girls at?
Taking the spicy red, keep it locked in.
Where my girls at?
Keep on watching while the beat keep knocking.
Where my girls at?
You love the flow, it's the lady show.
Where my girls at? Yeah. Where my girls at?
Everybody please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Football great Shannon Sharpe said Thursday that he will step aside temporarily from his duties at ESPN in the wake of a $50 million lawsuit accusing him of rape. The 56-year-old former Denver Bronco tight end said he needs time away from the studio to fight allegations that he called false and disruptive. Also, a second woman has come forward stating he raped her multiple times over 2 years. A prosecutor named Tony Busby, the attorney representing the woman suing Sharpe for $50 million over rape allegations, has released a second audio recording. This time, the soundbite allegedly captures Sharpe making disturbing comments during a private conversation. In the clip, the 56-year-old media personality reportedly speaks with a woman who was allegedly 19 when their relationship began, telling her, "I might choke you in public." The male voice, believed to be Sharpe, continues. So, gurus, what the hell is going on with Shannon Sharpe?
Having a midlife crisis, I guess. I don't know.
He's loving the young ones, And I mean, I'm not going to go with, I see how the media has gone like, oh, snow bunnies, this, that, and the third for Black men. It's just the fact that you need to protect your assets. That's just what I'm saying. Like, it's regardless of the age. Like, a gold digger has no age. It can be 20 or, 56, 76. It doesn't matter. It's about protecting your assets and doing things that are smart. And he was definitely not smart in any of it. His daughters are in their 30s, so they're just a few years older than the girl that he's having
daughters
sex
are
with.
older than this young lady. Like,
Exactly.
so the whole thing is just, like, my daughter is 25 years old, right? And when my ex-husband's friends be in her DMs, it's weird, right? Like, it's like, you guys are 50 years old at this point. Why are you in a 25-year-old? And why do you even think, any 25-year-old will have any interest in you other than to be a gold digger? Like, what other reason?
The man wants that young thing.
All right.
But why, when the
you
cougars
messing
are
with that
looking
young
so
thing?
good these days? We looking good these days. Why go for the young girls? I mean, I personally don't care.
It's a
Shannon
man
Sharpe
thing.
doesn't tickle my fancy. So, like, whatever.
I'm gonna
Whoever
tell
wants
you
to
why
have
they
them.
go for the young girls, because it's easier to manipulate the young girls. Even
Yes.
though the older women may look a certain way, it's easier to
Yeah.
manipulate the young girls. Hey, I can throw you around this money. I can flash around and get you this purse. I can buy you this car. I can do this for you. I can do that for you. At the end of the day, it's all about money. Like, you want my money, I want your body.
Yeah, well, obviously, her being an OnlyFans makes the whole thing transactional anyway. So,
Yeah, exactly.
but you played yourself because somehow, you got caught up in text messages and stuff where she's actually kind of turning you down and you're still kind of pushing. So, like, you got yourself caught up in this. So, I mean, I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for him. And I just feel like, even though she's legal, she's of age and all that stuff, like, him coming up and he's like, oh, this is a this and that. Like, boy, shut up. Nobody, it's you cannot hide from yourself. You know what I mean? This is not even the first time in the last couple of months something was exposed about Shannon Sharpe. Like, I'm waiting for the next. And didn't somebody else just recently come out? Another girl?
Well, you know what this sounds like? And it sounds, it sounds like Shannon Sharpe likes to have like a role play type of thing going on. Like, when he's talking about choking and carrying on, and this must be something. Look, people like different types of sex out there. Let's be real.
Yeah.
And Shannon Sharpe sounds like he's an individual that pretty much like has like this thing, and it sounds like she's with it. Like she's been going with this guy for 2 years, and it sounds like that she knows the choke thing or what he likes, and they both are going along with this weirdness, if you will.
Well, true. So, I mean, a woman will go along with, he's, first of all, he's wealthy. Okay, so we all understand that. We've seen the female. She's looks like any
Mid,
other person, like, yeah, I mean,
regular,
she's average. She's average. I don't
Regular.
think she's
yeah,
super stunning or anything like that. But yes, he has his special kinks or whatever. And like I've seen, like, I'm not gonna kink shame either. Like, you have your thing. But the thing is about consent. And I think, like, the thing is, like, you can't just have a contract and say, like, you are complicit for this. I think that he constantly has to have, and I feel like that's what she had as like a monitoring device and recording him and everything like that. That was a setup. Like, who just thinks to record people just naturally? I mean,
Right.
unless you're me. Like, I'm a super sketchy person, and I'm like, you're saying something to me, I'm going to record you. Just know. But I mean, that's because I like to prove a liar. But that's something else, But for you just to record a person is like, there is something devilish or scheming wise that you would have to record somebody. Otherwise, who's just recording people out the blue?
Mhm.
So, and I feel like, and if they're recording, then I'm saying consent every single time, every hour. Is it okay if I do this? Is it okay if I do this? Is it okay if I do that? Like,
And let's
consent
be
across
real.
the board.
Let's be real. I mean, to a woman asking consent every 2 minutes that doesn't turn them on. Like, I mean, it's not something that they're gonna be like, yo, he's Mr. Don. They're gonna say this guy's a cornball.
Doesn't matter. They want his money. They're not interested in Shannon's body. Come on now.
Exactly.
They not. He probably has
yeah.
to take Viagra or something. Isn't he a spokesperson for Viagra?
Yes,
I'm
Like, come
crying.
on
yes.
now. Like, yeah, so exactly. So we got to have conversation while I wait to get it up anyway. So let's talk
I'm
about
done.
consent.
Well,
Let's.
I got another question. Why do men and women have to be Einstein to be in a relationship? This is outrageous. This is outrageous.
Like someone said, like, did Jonathan Majors not teach you anything? Like, literally, you had a woman chasing a man down the
That
street.
was the example Cat William gave him in the interview. That was the exact
Oh,
example.
I don't
That
even.
was the
I didn't
exact
watch it. I
example.
don't watch Club Shay Shay. I don't do
I
any of
saw
it.
the
All
clip.
I know is that if you can see that, and he still had to go to anger management and still get some kind of like reprimand. Who's safe? Who's safe? He was literally running for his life and still seen as the abuser. So what do you, come on, you got what, 10, 20
And
years
two,
over Jonathan Majors, and you
and
can't
two,
think?
you got to
Like, come
remember
on.
too, having, let's say it did work, quote unquote, right? And now you're with her, let's say 5 years, and you guys want to get married and have kids. What you think gonna happen? What you think gonna happen? She gonna take them kids and she gonna say deuces, okay? And then she's gonna take your money and it's gonna be extra worse.
Yeah.
Like, y'all don't think later on down the line, like after y'all have kids, stuff like that, and then your family can't see those kids.
Right.
And
Like, for her family.
and it's because too, it's like there is no realness. There is no commonality on realness. Like there has to be some sort of a base that you go back to in your relationship to say, hey, listen, this is what we gonna stand on. The problem is nobody is standing on nothing.
Basically,
What foundation? Those is out the window.
Nope.
yeah.
Everything is about, like, what you could do for me, man and woman, what you could do for me, what you could do for me. What can you get for me? What can you give me? What can you do for me?
Yeah, and that's unfortunate that that's
It
how
is. It
society is
really
right
is.
now.
It really is. It
It's
really
very
is.
much transactional instead of
Yeah,
about love and about
right.
caring and having some kind of decency for somebody.
Or even if you still see, so let's say, let's take love out of it. You're still two partners that know how to work with each other and get stuff done. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's really the whole, you'll love anybody once y'all could come together and get stuff done. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like automatically, like, okay, you see I'm slacking in a certain area and you come and pick up in that slack. That's what's up. I needs that. Or
Mhm.
if you see me down and you're picking me up, I needs that.
Mhm.
Not just, oh, she said, oh, well,
Mhm.
Mhm.
oh, he's,
Mhm.
oh, well, listen, it's all about the money. It's all about the money. Okay.
Kevin Gates wants y'all to stop telling him to go back to Dreka. He says he's happy with Brittany Renner. If the viewers aren't familiar with who Brittany Renner is, she started as a media personality and entered modeling for Fashion Nova. Her appearance on podcasts including Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharpe have garnered strong reaction where Renner stated she's slept with over 35 men and 3 within 24-hour span. So gurus, do you think Kevin Gates was better off with Dreka, or do you think this relationship is for publicity that he has now with Renner?
I thought he was still with Drika.
They haven't
Well, they
officially
were still
broken
married.
up. No,
I
they're
didn't know
Oh,
that.
married.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what we talking about? He still,
Yeah.
listen, he is
They're
a long
married and she's not
story
really talking
why.
about it. So,
Oh
Exactly.
wow, that's
Exactly.
crazy.
They're still married.
yeah.
Wait, they're still married?
I think so.
Yes, they are. This
Yes.
just happened. This just happened recently. They was
Yeah.
just married. She was just on the podcast talking about her marriage. They were talking about the marriage and all that. And then he popped out with this person.
Wow.
So
And she
yeah, I
was
mean,
she wasn't introduced to us as no media personality. She was introduced to us because she was online ranting and raving about some basketball boy that she had a baby with, and how all of this, he ain't giving her money and all of this other nonsense. That's how we knew her.
oh yeah, I knew her way before that. She was in the news way before that, always
Oh,
exposing the
see,
people
that's how
that she
I was
slept with and
introduced to
stuff.
her.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she was always a problem anyway. But
Yeah.
I mean,
To me, it sounds like he just wants to have fun. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
well, I I think if his wife is okay with it, I mean, right now nobody knows really what like the situation. Maybe she's one of those like, yo, just do what you want to do. If you want to, just make sure I'm comfortable. I'll just like, what was it that I said that one time? I'll just hire the pool boy. I'll hire the pool boy. Like you go do what you want to
Yeah.
do. I'll hire the pool boy. Thank you. No,
It is
Lakers.
unfortunate how a lot of people in their relationships, as long as they're like have the mentality of don't bring any STDs to me or don't bring any random babies, then I'm okay with you doing what you're doing. Just don't humiliate me in the way of having to
Yeah.
bring an STI to me or have another baby on me. And some women are okay as long as they stay between those guidelines. They're okay with him creeping and have. I know, Ty. I know. We can't even. It's just like can't even
Ty
Don't
is
get me
fathom
like,
like
started. You
not
sharing
know,
what the
somebody
Lord would
like.
want.
listen, listen. I
So
don't
it's
have.
like
Mm-mm.
I mean, Kevin Gates was recently trolling LeBron James talking about
Yeah.
him and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's why I thought it was a publicity stunt at first, because you out here at a basketball game trolling LeBron James, and maybe it's a thing that both of them are trying to get their numbers up.
What there was a podcaster that had said something about this because they were talking about with LeBron James. He was in Stephen A's face that one time, because Stephen A was talking about his wife and not even a really disrespectful way. He was just like basically, I guess he just said something. LeBron, I can't remember what exactly the context was, but I remember that Stephen A was at a game and LeBron was like basically in his face, and a lot of the sportscasters were like, what the hell? Like, what's wrong with him? Like, be professional at all times, this and that. Now you got Kevin Gates, who comes to the game, says what he says about your wife, sits in the front row of your game, and he's trolling the hell out of LeBron, right? And LeBron says nothing. So, like, the podcaster's point was, like, you can't have like certain energy with a certain kind of person and then different, because then it just makes you look suspect. You know what I mean? Like Kevin Gates is, I guess, a little bit more intimidating to LeBron James, and that was like the point that he was making. But at the end of the day, like Kevin Gates does everything for like attention.
From a male perspective, okay, there is no way in hell I'm gonna be with, or most men are gonna be with a woman who talks about how she had in public. This ain't something she told her friend. This is something that she told the whole internet. She told the whole internet that she had sex with 3 different men in 24 hours. She also stated that she slept with 35 men.
Loose.
Now, I'm sorry. There's not a lot of men who is going to claim her in public.
Well, as you can see, there is at least one.
There will be one. There will be a guy that will claim
There
her.
is at least one. Well,
There'll be a dump. No, I'm saying.
listen, that her sleeping with 3 guys in 24 hours, like she did explain that. Not that I give her any credit for this, but she did explain it. That was in 2018, and like people have been dragging her about that specifically. And the thing about her that she says is that people hate on her because she's expressive sexually and she just doesn't care. So it's like that was the point she was making on when she was on Shannon Sharpe's team, show. She was basically saying how like you're looking at it this way because I'm a female. Like if your guy said this to you, they slept with 3 girls, he'd be the man. So like she basically
yes, we have to
tries
acknowledge it. I'm sorry, Marcy.
No, you're right. No, please jump in. No, please jump in.
No, I mean, I agree that there's definitely always been a double standard across the board. How men see women when they practice the same, I guess, free spirit when it comes, because that's what they call, right? The women, right? We're a free spirit when she wants to be open with her sexuality. However, that's not for the media. Like I'm obviously she's grown because people realize what they shouldn't say and everything like that. But the thing is that you have to understand that even though you feel that you've matured, what you say on social media is going to continue to haunt you. So, I mean, you just need to be more mindful. You just have to be more mindful.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Amen.
Is not
you just got to be mindful. So, I mean, for her to have shared that, whatever the circumstances were within the 24 to 48 hours, that was your business to have. That was nothing for you to share. So the fact that this can continue to haunt you is your fault, baby girl. So I can't feel bad for you. And how the men see you is unfortunate. Hopefully you can find a man that's mature and can understand your growth. But outside of that, I can't help you. You didn't want to save yourself because that was not the best decision to make.
I mean, that's how she makes her money, though. Like, you know what I mean? The controversy is how she makes her money. When people talking about her on the internet and stuff like that. So her making a claim like, oh, I slept with 3 guys in one day and 35 men in my lifetime, and I'm only whatever, I don't even know how old she is. My thing is like, who would know anything about her? Really, like she was an influencer, but not a super, super big one. And then she did like what was it, fitness, like modeling and stuff like that too, besides the Fashion Nova. But like she didn't start to like become a household name and people know so much about her till she started dropping dimes on people and started talking on the internet. Then all of a sudden people started paying attention to her for some reason. And it's kind of like the Amber Rose effect, you know. You do what you do.
I mean, I understand being controversial, but again, why do you can be controversial without putting all your business out on Front Street. Especially if you're still a young girl and you want to get married. Like if you still have hopes of not being a thought your entire life and that you want to be somebody's wife, like you gotta try to fly right now. And I mean,
what's up, everybody? This is my wife.
Right. That was back in her heyday.
I mean, if she can find a good guy that's gonna,
she got her a good guy. That's what she's saying. She doesn't like this game to him.
She love her man.
Listen, I used
Okay.
to
Like
I
we
used to
haven't.
obsess over Kevin Gates. I
Really?
used to
You liked
obsess
him
over
over
Kevin
that?
Gates. Girl, I was like, what in love? But it was more his inspirational posts and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I'm like, I love him. He's so
What
smart. I
inspirational
get what he said.
post?
Yeah,
Nah, he be posting.
he was talking about
He be
relationships
spitting.
and love in a different way. And then he would throw religion into it. And, he was just very inspirational until I saw him on stage spitting in a woman's mouth. And then I was like, oh man, why
Oh,
did he
I
do
forgot
God.
about
that?
that.
Yes.
Why do we need
I
to see
forgot
that?
about
That's
that.
crazy.
Yes.
That's
Ah,
It
disgusting.
was disgusting. And I
Well
never
then,
seen him the same again since then. So now every time I hear anything about him, I'm just like disgusted immediately. Like I'm just like, I can't. Like I feel like
that's
he betrayed
crazy.
me. And now I'm like over it.
not betrayed.
He
But you
can
know
never
what?
happen now.
Going back to that Shannon Sharpe issue, there are people that like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And you
People with
can,
money that are
but
weird.
yeah.
They have
I
the money.
mean,
So it's like I have everything that I want. I just want to play now because now it's just a playground. I have everything I want. I have the wife, I have the kids, I have the business, I have the money, I have the cars, I have the this, I have the that. I want to play now. I want to dibble and dabble. Yo, young girl, what you know how to suck my dick
Yo,
back?
young girl is crazy.
No, because
and
he
they, I mean,
probably figures,
they're impressionable. And I mean, I will go with what Deb said. Like, not only can you manipulate them, but they're in their own starting and a bopping that they don't think that it's going to affect them. Like, oh yeah, I can, bust it wide open for whoever,
Mhm.
and it's not going to affect me later on or whatever in case might be because they think that, or they think that the rewards are going to outweigh how it's going to make them feel. And at the end of the day, like, you got to
Now,
deal with that. But it
all that
shows
for
you the
what?
value system of today. The value system is about what I have and what I can show you. And
Hmm.
it's like between your legs is more important than what's between your ears. And that's crazy to me.
We saw what was going on earlier when fights were breaking out and they were just putting it on TV and it was the #1 rated show in America. No wonder why we got Trump as president.
Honestly, ain't no brain cells around here.
at all.
All right, well, moving on to something that is probably some of the most controversy that we've seen in years. Because Beyonce's birth certificate confirms that she's an Aries rising, not Libra, like fans thought. Apparently, Beyonce fans have lost their mind
What is
Yeah.
this?
because
Well,
Right?
News?
How is this a topic? Like,
This is what
is
I
this?
just said. This is news.
What?
I'm so confused.
and we have our true
So are her
Beyonce here.
chakras
Why?
So
off balance or something?
Yeah,
Like what's
no.
Who
going
gives a damn
on?
about her rising? Do she know you? She be calling y'all?
That's what I'm saying. She don't probably don't even know what that is. Please, she don't care about that stuff. I promise you.
Listen, she probably know exactly what it is, but how's that benefiting y'all? Listen, it's gonna benefit y'all by buying her tickets. Now she know that she a Libra rising. Now she gonna put that in play and make y'all buy her tickets now.
No, she's an Aries
Why?
rising, not a Libra rising.
Who
Was it
Right.
Aries?
cares? All of that stuff is dumb. I'm just confused as to how this is controversy. Why is this in the news? Like, I'm so confused.
Like, don't get
I'm
me
just
wrong,
like,
I'm into the astrology, but this is not
nah.
this
To
is
this
not it.
extent, this is
This
crazy.
is not it.
Like, for it to make news, that girl probably
Well, you
don't
know what
even
it
look
is?
online.
I think there's just a subset of fans that like, you know, have identified with her because of that, and now are upset because like
Well,
they
that's what
can't
y'all
they
get.
Get
don't feel
over
as
it.
close to her anymore
Life goes
because
Well,
on.
that's what
she's
y'all get for being delusional anyway, for
Thank
thinking
you.
that connected y'all.
that part. Well, yeah.
And I mean, your rising is based on your birth time. So I guess yeah, people may have thought that because that's what your rising is based on,
How
your
do
birth
they
time.
even know
So
when she was born?
Her birth certificate.
Is it public? That's public?
I guess so.
yeah,
well,
yeah, they want your
recently
birth time.
Beyonce recently was considered the third best as far as I forget what it was. She came in third place. I forget the name, the category it was. And because she came in third place, I'm sure her fans lost their mind that she was in third place.
They
You
need
know
to
what
get a
I'm
life. They need to get a life.
No, seriously. I like
Like,
Beyonce, but I'm not no stand to nobody but me. I'm sorry.
y'all
I
know
can't.
that's my girl, but I don't care
I
about
love
none of
Beyonce,
this.
but I can't.
None of this. This
That's
is
too much
stupid.
energy. That's too much energy. I need to put that in me. Like
Like,
what?
y'all don't have your own. Y'all don't have your own life, like
That's
at
what I'm
all.
saying. I got bills to pay. Beyonce ain't helping me with that.
I'm just like, it would be one thing if the story was we found out her birthday is a different day than she's been saying her whole life. But y'all talking about this made up stuff. Like, cut it out.
Yeah.
Cut it
And then they still gonna
out.
take their ass to Cowboy Carter concert.
Cut it. Go cry there. Like
Yeah,
nobody
you
cares.
feel me? Right.
Yeah.
Hold up
Nobody
your
cares in
sign
real
there.
life.
Oh
Cry
my
me a
God, you're
river.
not this.
Exactly. Go. You want your fame? Go get it there.
Right.
In real life, we don't care.
At all.
There's another fan crying. Well, I ain't gonna call her a fan, but there's another woman crying. And maybe she does have reason to be crying and making her feelings known. A Houston rapper named Ivy K is accusing Megan Thee Stallion of ripping off her songs for her latest single, Whenever.
She got it's whatever and then it's whenever. Like, be for real. Y'all hoes are weird. Like, that is weird. And it's the fact that y'all, they reached out to me like 4 weeks ago. I say about a month ago. Her team reached out to my people Smooth and was asking, like, I didn't know what the happened. They never hit us back up. Word through the grapevine, they said that Megan shouldn't work with me. All this lame, she shouldn't work with me and all that or whatever. When you know how many to work with Young Boy and Young Boy do the most. You know how many that'll work with Kodak and he get full of drugs and do the most. Like, you hoes just weird. Y'all just weird. Y'all just weird. Everybody got their own flaws and y'all back door go drop a song somewhere similar. Like, be for real. Girl, that knew what she was doing. Be trying to jock the flow. Be trying to jock the flow. Just be trying to jock the flow. Like,
Ivy claims the song copies her 2024 song, It's Whatever. The hook says, BITCH, it's whatever. It's for whatever. While Megan's hook says, it's whenever. BITCH, it's whenever, ho. Now, obviously,
Wow,
now,
it's so
obviously,
studious.
it's whenever or it's whatever are popular sayings that neither one of them made up. So now I want to be 100% clear. Now I'm not saying that Megan did this, but I am saying that this does happen in the entertainment business.
I can't say right wrong because it do. It do. And
It
the
definitely
sad part
happens.
about it is like a person like me could be like, oh, let me, sing this type of song, skibbity bop bop, and then all of a sudden they taking it. But I'm like, did they take that from me?
You have to be
I said
very
Skibbity Bop back
careful.
in 1988. I remember I said that.
Hey,
Skibbity Bop Bop. I said that.
When I know somebody that got their raps taken by somebody, and this is what happens. You think you going to somebody to get a deal. You think that person is going to help you out. You thinking, oh, if I could only get my song or if I could only get heard by this particular artist. This particular artist is saying, you know what, I need that come up myself. Let me just let me take what you have and just tell you a story and go make another same type of concept, same type of everything, and then they go and try to do it themselves.
But what I'm confused about is the only comparison is that one line. Like, and that's what this whole thing is over, this one line that was similar. And because from where I stand, I could get a recipe off of the internet, change one little thing about it, and it's my recipe. It's like, I made that. Like, that's mine. You know what I mean? And people do that all the time. I mean, I know
And
it's
it's not
not.
even a good line.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's
Why
like,
are we arguing about this?
yeah, it's like what?
Stupid.
All right,
It's
so
whatever. It's whenever.
and yeah, but like
Ooh.
now you have to argue that that line made her a bunch of money that probably it had nothing to do with just that one line. Like, I don't know that it's just I think people, you know, everybody's trying to get money somehow. And I mean, that's not discrediting her claim. She may have worked with them. This all may have happened or whatever. But like, she's not saying your name, your line verbatim, right? And she's kind of making it her own. I mean, I don't think this person has a leg to stand on in court, to be honest.
Oh no, she probably
Hey,
won't
you
have a
would
leg to
know.
stand on because this is the way these things are done.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful about creatives in general. You have to be. A lot of things make sense based on your bank account.
Right.
If one person has $100,000 and you have 500, and you gonna try to go to court with this person to try to get what you perceive that was done to you wrong, you want to correct that. They have way more money to hold this thing out while
Right.
you're in the poorhouse worried about that one letter or word.
Mm-hmm.
Sense.
Corporations versus
drag it
people.
out. They would drag it out.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's a waste of time and money,
It
to
is.
be honest.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she'll wind up dropping it because she won't be able to like hold on to that case as long as Meg would be able to. Her money is way longer. So, you know, but you know, it's unfortunate, but I don't think that that her claim is even really valid. Like, I just think it's a little bit of a reach.
Word, because she was losing her mind in that thing. She was like, I said, whatever
I mean,
she said.
you have to have a lot of proof that she saw your lyrics. So that's the only thing I could think of is that the only way she could prove that is if her lyrics were seen by Meg. And you can date stamp that time that you sent it to her or when she saw it versus the time that she made her lyrics. That's the only way I can think of, like, really have.
Now she's frozen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, she's outside, so it might have something to do with the wind.
I think
and
the
all that.
wind, is really
It's
windy.
possible.
Yeah, she's out in the car.
All right, so
95 or to 100% heavier depth in the world.
do you know all that time you was frozen?
And then you just came back and said 95.
Oh snap! What? Okay, so I probably because you know what? I pulled up into my driveway and now I'm on the Wi-Fi,
okay.
so that's probably what happened.
That's probably
yeah,
what
yeah,
happened.
yeah, yeah.
But we heard nothing. You were like 95.
Okay, I was. Oh snap!
Full moon
Okay.
out.
We reached a part in our show called your Q&A with the Lady Guru Show. And if anybody has a question that you would like answered, keep DMing the Lady Guru's Instagram page and we will try to get you a response. So here we go. I am a 48-year-old mom and I birthed 3 who are adults now. My oldest is 28, my youngest is 23. I'm writing this to get some good opinion and help because I messed up big time. Uh-oh. My youngest son has pretty good friends who are always at the house, and I've always been pretty happy with the friends he surrounds himself with. My only concern is that they all smoke weed, but I can't be too upset with that considering I smoked when I was young, and now smoking is generally legal anyways these days. Sometimes they watch TV while 2 or 3 run to the store for snacks or whatever. I'm the cool mother, so they all give me props for understanding what it is. One day, my son and another friend went to the store while one of his other friends, that's been his friend the longest, stood in front of the house waiting for him. He asked if he could have water. I said, sure. He walked in, we talked, and he joked in a flattering way about how he thought I was way too attractive to be a mother. He's also the one I let get away with things more than the others. One thing led to another, and I shamefully let him give me oral sex. I feel so bad. When it was over, I told him he should leave before my son gets home. If he tells his friends, I'm going to deny it. Ladies, please help me out.
He feels like the man now.
I
Yeah.
don't
Help you
understand.
out. Help you out. You dug a ditch and decided to throw the shovel up in the air. So I mean, nobody can
Exactly.
save you now.
I
Like,
just
nah.
I don't know I don't understand what the question was. So it's a question.
He let him eat the cookie, and he feels bad
Like,
about it.
what is the question? Do you? I mean,
If she thinks he's holding on to that, she is in a dream.
yeah,
Exactly.
everybody knows except your son right now. Okay, everybody but your
Oh
son.
my God.
No,
knows
they're
right
definitely
now.
gonna throw that up in the air whenever they get pissed off at him. Like, guess what? I dig down.
Listen,
Remember
Like-
that
it's gonna
one
come.
time
Like,
when your mom? Oh, you know what? I don't think he was around for that.
The
Like,
son,
yeah.
ultimately, what's gonna happen is the son, and he is gonna go to blows some kind of way.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
gonna
because
find
he's probably
out.
gonna say it in a malicious way, because if it's an argument that arises, like, yeah, I did that to your mom. What?
I feel like
Listen.
I'm disappointed because it's like,
Yeah.
what young no, there's not enough young penis that would
And
get me
even if
to
there
just be
is
like,
enough young penis, why him?
So confused.
Why your
Like-
son's friend?
That's what I'm
And
saying.
like,
Why him?
So
Even if it is
confused.
enough young penis, why his
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, like
I'm just saying, like, why are you surrounding yourself with your son's friends? Like, why are you even taking it there? That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, you
I don't
ain't the cool mom for
understand
nothing.
It
why.
sounds
Yeah,
like she
you allow
wants
that.
to be popular. It sounds
Mhm.
like
It sounds
This ain't high school,
like
kid.
she's trying to relive her youth
Exactly.
because she was trying to say, "Oh, I'm the cool
I'm the
mom."
cool. That's what
Like,
I'm saying.
there's
Right.
no props. Get that?
None.
No, you're never the cool mom. You're just a mom that
Yeah.
they can manipulate. Like,
well, I don't know.
let's
I'm
call it
the
what it
cool
is.
mom. I'm the cool. No, I'm only kidding. I'm
Like,
cool, but
no.
I have my moments where my kids don't like me too. So there's a balance. There's balance.
I'm cool too, but when it comes to
Yeah.
certain things, I don't play that. Even
Yeah,
if
exactly.
even if you
No.
trying me, little boy, if you don't go sit down.
But my whole thing is like, why was that something that was appealing to you?
That's
Like
what I'm saying.
it goes back to the whole Shannon Sharpe thing.
Mhm.
Like, girl, is that the best you can do?
Literally.
Is that the
Exactly.
best you could do? Like, you can't get a guy closer to your age to like pleasure you? Like, come on. There's guys that line up to do that to women. You know what I mean? Like, just because.
I believe, really, I feel strongly, and I thought that it was kind of over, but I guess it hasn't left. It's going to continue to be an issue that people are fearful of being older or getting old. Like, the thought of being older, or, just like, no, saggy balls. Oh, no, I can't. Or, when the breasts start to drop and they're not as voluptuous and high up anymore. Like, oh my goodness. I just feel like people are just having this, I can't think of, and it's like, what are you talking about? Old people get busy. Okay. I've done the research. Okay. They get
surely
busy.
do. Yes, they
So
do.
there is nothing wrong with getting older.
Yes, they do.
You learn more tricks and tips and all that kind of stuff. So I don't understand it, but it's definitely a big issue with people dealing with dealing with being older. It's something about it that
No, it's true. I mean, coming as one of the older women on the panel here, like, I just reached a milestone birthday this past year, and I was okay with my age because people used to always say, you don't look your age, you don't look your age. So whenever somebody would ask me my age, I was anxious to tell them, like, yeah, I'm such and such, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, so that they could give me compliments about how I don't look that age, whatever. But now, like, once I hit that milestone, I just was like, I don't want to say I'm that age. Like, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it.
You don't have to, girl.
No, I don't want to know.
Listen,
Don't ask me.
Now
I'm going to use the line. You never ask a lady her age, okay?
You're going to bring that back. Okay, girl.
Well,
yeah, because no, it did become, I did like fall into a bit of a depression after that, because it's like, you get hit with the reality of your mortality. Like, you're not, like, at this point, I have reached already more than halfway past my lifespan. You know what I mean? So now it's like, you think about all the time you spent, up to that point, and then you're like, I got less of that time left. You know what I mean? And so you kind of wind up on. So I can understand somebody chasing youth and trying, because I've dated younger men, not that young. You know what I mean? And
Don't get
Hold
twisted.
up.
All right.
not my,
I happen to think that the Pope was a very, from what I can see, was a very good person trying to spread good in the world. And I feel like this Pope was being fought on many different levels to
I would agree
stay
with
in
that.
check.
I will say that he was one of the most forward-thinking popes that we've had, for the Vatican and everything like that, because he was trying to build a bridge between Christianity and the LGBTQ community. And I feel that no other pope has tried to do that. And I feel that since Pope Francis passed away, I don't think that they're going to try to revive that. I think that he was the most revolutionary in that way. I don't think that they're going to try to go back to building those relations. I really think that he was going against the grain for that, and I'm sure they're going to truly be missed, because I believe, like, I guess the head of the LGBTQ community in like New York or something like that, that he's going to be desperately missed and everything like that. So I know that he made a big, oh gosh, what am I looking for? Yeah, I'm losing my train of thought, but he made a big statement in building the bridge between the LGBT community and the Christianity. And I think it's going to be missed, because I don't think they're going to have a pope that's going to be that kind of forward thinking. I really don't.
No, and I mean, the Roman Catholic Church is very strict to begin with. So that was basically him seriously going against the grain, because he was considered like a woke pope, which is like unheard of. Like, it's unheard of, right? Because they follow their marching orders. You know what I mean? Like, this is how you present yourself. These are the things we don't touch. These are the things. This is how we as a a religion feels about these things, and then they're expected to fall in line.
Yeah, because I think he
So,
even paid attention to the raping of young boys too, right? We're not supposed to use that word. I'm sorry. The whatevering to young boys. I don't even know anymore.
they were raping them. That's what they were doing.
That's like, throw the book up.
I mean, the church is giving them enough cover, so like, I'm not gonna sit here and do it. That's what they did. They raped them. Yeah.
I mean, for IG purposes, the R or whatever, but but I'm just saying. But I mean, he acknowledged that too, and so I feel like, yeah, he was rare. They're not gonna acknowledge those things again.
It's so bad that I remember one day, I forget where we was, people were outside or something to that effect, and there was some priests walking by, and some dude decided to make a joke and was like, "Quick, hide your kids!" Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it was so.
That's just very sad that that's like a thing that people like kind of associate popes and priests with, like, that type of behavior. But that's their own fault, because the church, because of the Catholic Church covering that up for them and just moving them from church to church to church, instead of, holding these disgusting human beings accountable for the things, for manipulating these young boys and girls in some cases into doing certain things. And then, they would say stuff like, I don't even want to get into it, but they would say things to try to manipulate the kids into doing this and thinking that that was God's will, so these disgusting human beings should not have been ever like, moved to another church or preaching anywhere else or doing anything else. They should have been held accountable. And now the church has to suffer that stigma, because this is what they done.
Yeah.
So, hey, y'all, I wanted to take this time to pay homage and remembrance to a very gifted and beautiful artist from the 1970s, Miss Gwen McCrae, born Gwendolyn Patricia Mosley in Pensacola, Florida on December 21st in 1943. Miss McCrae was affectionately known and referred to as the Queen of Rare Groove. She found her love for music in the church at just age 7, but she began her career as a teenager, as most artists did in that day, singing in local clubs, where she then met her soon-to-be husband, Mr. George McCrae. Shortly thereafter, the two of them signed to TK Records. Miss McCrae lit up the funk and soul scene with records such as All This Love That I'm Giving, Rocking Chair, and Funky Sensation. She's been widely sampled by smash artists such as Cypress Hill, Mobb Deep, Lady Gaga, and also notable is she first released the song You Are Always on My Mind in 1975, which was re-released by country music singer Willie Nelson in 1982. Yes, that's right, a country music song performed by a Black female artist. She has had some mainstream success home, but found the love and appreciation the people had for her not limited to the United States. She had become a cult figure among record collectors and DJs across the UK and in Europe. Miss McCrae continued to record and started to go back to her Southern gospel roots until 2012, when she suffered a stroke, which impaired her ability to record and sing. Miss McCrae was 81 years young at the time of her homecoming on February 21st, 2025. This loss was huge to the many who she touched and to those she loved most, including her children, daughters Wanda, Sophia, Leah, and her only son, Alex, not to mention her many grandchildren. Noted U.S. music source Soul Track said of the late singer, her rich alto voice sounded like she was still singing in the church, but her lyrics were pure pop and soul. And from her children, while we'll miss her dearly and our hearts are heavy, we take solace in knowing that she's no longer suffering from the pain she endured in the last few years of her 81 years of life. They now can celebrate the remarkable legacy of this talented and gifted artist. Rest in paradise, Miss Gwen McCrae. Your contributions to the music will forever immortalize you. And to Alex, I'll always be your ear, your shoulder, and your tissue. I love you always. Thank you for listening.
Deb, you want to go to LGS News?
All right. In case you've been busy or you just don't know what the hell is going on, this is the Lady Show news for you. Silk discussed their upcoming show in Brooklyn and what's special about 90s R&B. More than 30 years later, Silk is still going strong. They remain in demand and are a part of the R&B Forever Tour at Barclays Center in Brooklyn on April the 26th. After being discovered by Keith Sweat in 1992, Silk released their debut album, Lose Control, featuring Freak Me, which went to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100s. Happy Days, Girl, You For Me, and the track titled A Quiet Storm Classic propelled the album to reach double platinum status. Lose Control would go on to win an Album of the Year in 1994 Soul Train Music Awards. Good to hear these R&B groups are still in demand and going strong. We need them. Yeah, for real.
It's good to hear.
In other news, Cornell cancels Kehlani's performance due to her support for Palestine. Cornell University has canceled R&B singer Kehlani's scheduled performance at its annual Slope Day event, citing concerns over her public support for Palestine. The decision, announced by University President Michael L. Kotlikoff, follows backlash from students and alumni who received Kehlani's statements and actions as divisive. In a statement, President Kotlikoff explained Kehlani's presence had caused division within the campus community. He noted that her expressions on social media and in performances, such as 2024 music video Next to You, featuring Palestinian symbols and phrase Long Live Intifada. I'm not saying that right. I'm sorry. Intifada. I'm sorry. Moving on. I have problems with trying to get words right. I'm sorry. Let me start that little part over. He noted that her expressions on social media and in performances such as 2024 music video Next to You featuring Palestinian symbols and phrase "Long live the Intifada" were points of contention. All of this tongue twisting now. I'm gonna start that part over. Kotlikov. I gotta do that over. I gotta do that over. I'm gonna
You
start
got
from
it, girl.
right there.
You got it.
Kotlikov emphasized they need the unity at university events, stating Slope Day is intended to be celebrating and that brings let me start that over too. God, what the hell? Kotlikov emphasized they need unity at university events, stating Slope Day is intended to be celebration that brings our community together. Child. And in other news.
Can I just say before you go to that next one? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You can't even post on social media or nothing like that.
You can't
and
have
people start telling, you can't perform somewhere.
No.
Well, that's the new age that we're in.
And other people are going to follow suit too because they think that's the wave. That's the way to go.
Well, yeah, there are some universities that are standing against this initiative. But like the whole thing, like Kalani has always been anti-genocide, what did she say? Her statement, I have it in front of me. I am anti-genocide. I am anti the actions of the Israeli government. I am anti an extermination of an entire people. I'm anti the bombing of innocent children, men and women. That's what I'm anti.
What
and so like this was her getting
exactly. What's so wrong?
That's human. Like, I'm not understanding.
I don't even like the girl and I don't see what's wrong with what she said.
Right. She's always stood on this hill from the beginning. Even with Ukraine, the war with Ukraine and all that stuff, she has stood with these people. So I mean, everybody has a right to their opinion. Even the people who are pro-Israel or Zionists or whatever, they have the right to say how they feel. But like to be canceled, that's taking it a little bit further, because now what you're saying is that what other people think outside of what the Zionists are thinking is wrong. And it's like, no, that like there was 6 million people who died in Nazi Germany back then, and we're like on the path of this happening to Palestinian children, Palestinian people. And this also, it's ironic and not ironic at the same time, because it's Israel that's doing this, and it's like they know what it's like. So to be so critical of somebody who's speaking out against killing, we've seen kids being killed on the screen, like we've seen it in real time, like kids picking up little girls crying because their mother won't believe that their mother is dead.
We were seeing this stuff on TikTok. They don't even show that no more. They were showing all that stuff on TikTok. They don't show it no more.
No, they won't show it now, because they got them by that was part of probably the negotiations to have TikTok stay alive.
Could you imagine what these kids are gonna feel when they get older? Like what memories they're gonna have?
Well, what they're gonna do is they're gonna create fundamentalist Muslims that are gonna want to go against the American people and Israeli people, and those children who lost their families. They thought they were bad with ISIS and all this stuff. Like what is the other whatever that the 9/11 bombing and stuff. They thought that was bad. They're creating these children by doing this stuff to them and their families. And so when it comes back, they're going to call these people savages. But were you not the savage who was giving these people, the Israelis, millions and millions of dollars to create bombs and to wreak havoc on these children's homes and their families? Like, no, but they're the savages.
All right.
Sorry, Deb.
No, that's fine. And in other news, Michelle Obama explained why she skipped Trump's inauguration. my decision to make choices at the beginning of the year that suited me were met with such ridicule and criticism, she said. People couldn't believe that I was saying no for any other reason, that they had to assume my marriage was falling apart. It took everything in my power not to do the thing that was perceived as right, but do the things that were right for me. That was a hard thing to do for me. That was, in case you were busy or you just don't know what the hell is going on, Lady Guru Show news for you.
That was a whole rumor, man. That was a big rumor that people thought that, Obama may have had a woman and all this difference. Come on, man.
Doing too much.
Outrageous.
Yeah, I remember that too. I remember you trying to say that.
Of course.
I mean, she's definitely different than the first ladies before her.
Yeah.
That I will say, she's not. I mean, I have mixed feelings about it. I mean, I do believe that you should make yourself attainable to young Black boys and girls, especially because that's what they're standing for. But I also don't feel that she's made herself kind of a celebrity more than a first lady, and I'm not too crazy about that move personally. I think that now she's opened herself up to a lot of ridicule and judgment that they would normally shut their mouth for the first lady. But because I feel like she's moved to like a celebrityism with her being an author and everything like that, and they've kind of opened themselves to a different world than the average first
Well,
lady.
I disagree because a lot of the first ladies have written books, and I think that this is not Michelle Obama's problem. This is what the press is doing to her. They're making her more celebrity. Like she's done what she was supposed to do when she was in office. She's now out of office. Now she doesn't have to do these things. Now they want to, save grace. Like she herself is saying, well, look, I disagree with this. I'm not going to sit here and act like, I'm on board with this. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And I think, yes, I agree with you. She's doing things differently, but I think that is sorely needed in this environment, because we have all these women who would just sit by their husband and just act as though, like, even, with Melania, when you hear anything about Melania, she doesn't say anything unless we find out she's saying some negative stuff, or there's leaked oil, and then nobody talks about it anymore. Like, she said this outrageous thing about children, and now it's like, what was it, like, who gives a fuck? She said something one time, excuse my language, she was like who gives a fuck about, like, they were talking about something with the children, and it was in the audio, and people aren't talking about that anymore. But people won't, and they haven't stopped talking about Michelle Obama since her husband was in office. Like, they
you know what it is?
like
It's the political news they're covering her traditionally. What's been happening is that entertainment news has ratcheted up reports on the Obamas, generally speaking. Obviously entertainment news, they need hits more than, traditional political news. Political news is somewhat, people look at it like it's boring and regular, but entertainment news really covers them like they are celebrities. Like, every move that they make, entertainment news is picking it up. So it makes it seem as if they're in entertainment when they're not. The news media in general have so much power. People look at the news and they basically set the optics, to a degree,
That's what they're doing now. They're trying to set the optics, because who's running the news media now?
That's a whole nother OMG. But all right, everybody, it's been a good show. And but for everybody else, hey gurus, this is the Lady Guru Show, and we are out of here.
Where my girls
Everyone has to